Douglas fir, cedar, and pine hover above the Applegate Valley in southern Oregon. Much of these forests are public lands managed by the Bureau of Land Management and are home to salamanders, deer, elk, and much more. Ever since homesteaders first arrived at the turn of the century, people have cultivated a livelihood from the forest. For the past several years, forests managed by the BLM in Western Oregon have been gridlocked by lawsuits and a wide variety of opinions. With a commitment to providing jobs and restoring forest health, the Department of Interior Secretary Ken Salazar visited Pilot Joe, where he saw firsthand an active logging operation and listened to the voices of the community.
Trying to figure out a way of making a difference so that we can have a sustainable economy. We know the importance of timbering in this part of the state. We know the important role that the federal agencies all play. We need to figure out a way of getting beyond the gridlock of the past and moving forward with sustainable forestry that will sustain the jobs that it has in his company. At the same time, we'll be able to sustain the conservation values that have been so much a focus of this debate here now over the last 20 years.
Opportunity both as BLM and stakeholders to demonstrate restoration forestry, and that's what you see here today. This includes using the principles of Drs. Johnson and Franklin and integrating the northern spotted owl and fire ecologies and a pretty heavy dose of community collaboration, and we mix it all together, and this is a result.
The skyline logging like this, you don't have to build as many roads, and it's pretty efficient. Logging corridors, it stretches about 1,500 feet down this steep slope out onto a flat below. And the operator is able to access material off to the side of this corridor and bring it all up to a single point here for processing. Really minimizes the need to put in roads down below for access because they can work from this existing point.
So how long will it take you to harvest everything within this 900-acre pilot area?
It should take us about 3 months to do the whole thing.
While the time it takes to harvest the trees from this particular site is relatively short, we know it's not a long-term solution.
The BLM today is announcing that it's moving forward with the new RMP process, which will include in there an additional 5 pilot projects at a minimum. And we need to get beyond the litigation, helping us figure out a way to get the forest management program, both for timbering and for conservation, out of the courts in some way back into the hands of the land managers. They know what they're doing on the ground.
I hope you've all noticed there's still a forest there. There's still a forest there. This is dry forest restoration, and when you do a dry forest restoration, you leave a forest behind. Now, some of our friends in the timber industry have referred to this as boutique forestry. And look around you and you tell me if you think this is boutique forestry. We are taking out half of the basal area in these stands. Half of the basal area. That's a serious operation we're doing. And we're obviously producing wood, and we're producing it in a way that's commercially operable. It's not just about the stands that are being treated, but basically you have to have a landscape kind of a concept for how you're going to do this, because you can't treat all of the forest in a landscape. If you do that, there's organisms like northern spotted owls that are going to be left without suitable habitat. So that you have to have a landscape plan where you leave some of these areas behind.
With Norm and Jerry's leadership and our BLM people on the ground, that we actually are seeing a timbering operation that's working.
This is the bale. Right. And you just run it around the log and do this. See when they get here, just still tightening.